Yesterday, the NFL released their schedule throughout the day. I love it. I like it, Parlay Kid. I really do. I like that it's a big day.
Yeah.
It reminds everybody it's in your face. Like the NFL's never going away. It's important, but it's not really important. There's stuff leaked throughout the day, which is fun. A couple things to hit on. 13 teams have the full boat, 5 primetime games. I'm looking at them now. Bills, Bengals, Broncos, Bucks, Chargers, Chiefs, Cowboys, Eagles, Packers, Patriots, Steelers, Rams, 49ers. I think they're taking a chance with 5 primetime games with, I would say, the 49ers, the Steelers, and the Eagles. I mean, they're taking a chance with all of them that everybody stays healthy. But 49ers, Steelers, Eagles, I would say the iffiest of those 5, right, Parlay Kid? Because you don't know about the quarterback, how good they are.
Yeah, 3. I mean, the Eagles are actually somewhat intriguing. I find, even though the 49ers have had a nice playoff run last year, I don't find them very intriguing. And forget the Steelers. Who wants to watch them at this point, really? So,
well, I just said, I mean, I figured the Steelers would. They always get 5 primetime games, but
sure.
I thought with the Kenny Pickett, Trubisky, like, really? I could see them getting 4. But anyway, there's 5. Couple games to discuss. Week 1, Bills at Rams. That kicks things off. We knew about that. That's Thursday night. It's the first time ever Bills are playing on a Thursday night, the opening Thursday night. Our boys, Parlay Kid, host the Bucks. This is a switch from last year. This is the Sunday night game. This was the Thursday night game last year, but the boys went to Tampa. The Broncos at Seahawks Monday. That's Russell Hustle and Bustle coming back home. A couple other ones. Packers at Bucks. That's a Fox game, week 3. That's a fun one. Chiefs at Bucks Sunday night, week 4. Bills at Chiefs, week 6. That's a rematch. Cowboys going to the Packers. We knew about that anyway. That's a CBS game. Mike McCarthy, week 10, goes back home. Broncos, Rams, Christmas Day. And then we got Thanksgiving, Lions, Bills. Oh, boy. All right, that's a free teaser game. That's what I call that. That's a free teaser game. The Lions, Bri, who don't have, they're the only team that doesn't have a primetime game. But this is kind of has to count as primetime, right, Bri? Lions, they'll be catching about 8 or 9.
I guess so. I don't love those Thanksgiving games, though, right? I don't know.
The night game,
the night
Patriots
game too, right?
versus Viking. I think at Minnesota. Yeah, it is at Minnesota in the Dome. Not much fun, the night game. And then Cowboys and Giants, Harry, that hasn't been a Thursday game since I don't even remember this one, actually. 1992, Cowboys won 30-3. That's there on Fox, but interesting. So we get the Giants. I think we get them on a Monday too, right? Parlay Kid?
Then week 3 on a Monday night. Yes.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I looked at the Cowboys.
England.
What's that?
Giants playing England. Me and
Giants
Joel are already making plans.
There's a whole bunch of games abroad. I looked at our schedule, Parlay Kid, and it says that we are going to be playing in February, on February 12th, 2023 at State Farm Stadium in Glendale. Yeah. We're going to the Super Bowl. No, I don't know.
Why not? Why not?
Yeah.
So if we can survive, maybe be 3-3 out of the gate here. We don't have to, I think potentially because they have, I know they open up with the Bucks and Cincy, but
Bucks
they are
and Cincy
home.
both at home.
They're home in both those games. So if they could somehow win both of those games, they are going to be in great shape. Even if they split and go 3-3 in their first 6, boy, oh boy, the backside of their schedule looks tremendously weak. So I think that's a good that is great for the Cowboys. So hey, look,
so I think based on last year's records, which I don't like to do, we have the easiest strength of schedule. I'm gonna say we. I'm gonna keep saying we. I don't give a crap.
Right. Well, yes. Yeah, and but some of the teams too. I mean, obviously some teams are going to improve, but we have the Titans. They're not going to be as good this year as they were last year, in my opinion.
Right.
So and they're late. So I think the Cowboys' schedule is very favorable in this second half. So which is good for you and I because we do not have to panic with like a 3-3 start. You know what I mean?
Darren,
we can be okay with it, knowing that we're going to end up strong, I think.
Go ahead, Harry. You weigh in. You have no official rooting interest, but go ahead.
First, I want to say, listen, normally Christmas Day is kind of a boring day, sports day. 3 Christmas games that day, which is going to be great. And Darren, I hear what you're saying about Dallas, but you know what? Win a playoff game, all right? Just enough of all this talk. Just win a playoff game. That's it. Just win a playoff game.
That's or we could just jump to another 4 teams Harry does,
just
right?
win a playoff game. All this talk, Dallas, win a playoff game. That's it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Thanks for that.
I
Thanks
can't
for that
argue with
heads
that.
up, Harry. Okay.
Can't argue with that, right? Win a playoff game.
No, you're right. You're right.
But
maybe maybe that
say
should
that?
be our bottom line analysis for every team, and then whatever. We don't have
Right,
to.
Harry, though,
that's not true.
How do I come back to a guy? What's my comeback response to a
doesn't have
guy
a
who doesn't
team.
have a football team?
Yeah.
Well, I can't even say anything because you have
Right,
no
Harry,
team.
we have a better chance with our team of winning a playoff game than you do because you don't have a team. So I don't know.
It's been a long
I feel pretty
time
good
since
about
you
our
won
odds.
one. So I don't know. I think it's even.
Giants on Thanksgiving, that helps, Parlay Kid. Texans week 14, Jaguars week 15. Yeah, we have the Lions and Bears week 7 and 8. I will say, Skip Bayless got me crazy because he's like, oh, the Eagles are going to go 8-1. I was like, oh, this guy's what the hell is he talking about? They're going to go 8-1. Then I looked. I was like, who do they have to play? Like the Texans every week to go 8-1? Then I looked though. This is rough. At Lions, home against the Vikings, at Commanders, home against the Jaguars, at Cardinals, home against the Cowboys, home against the Steelers, at Texans, home against Commanders. That is a very easy
They're losing
start.
3 of those games.
Yeah, I
right.
think so.
Yeah.
I think
they're losing 3 of those games.
I hope so. I hope so. Because I think they have an easier schedule. I mean, they would have to. Our outside games are Cincinnati and who else? It would have to be one of the better NFC. I mean, just the fact that we have, who do we have? We have the NFC North, we have the AFC South, so that couldn't be easier, and our own division. So
Yeah.
Right.
So I would say we just need to win a playoff game. I don't know if anyone agrees. Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, do it. Do it.
All right.
Not as easy as it said.
Bri, your team was close to winning a playoff game. Let me hear your comments on the Raiders schedule. Terrible, I'm guessing, because you're in the toughest division. It's 6 tough games, no
every
matter
year
what.
I complain about it. It usually sucks. They usually go they usually go on the road for like 6 straight weeks or something like that. But yeah, I knew it was going to be tough considering the division they're in and the fact that they had to play the NFC West. But it's not that bad. I don't think it's that bad this year. I mean, week 7 through 10 is a nice stretch. You have Houston, you have New Orleans, you have Jacksonville, you have Indy.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have some fun games we talked about, Sal, right? There's the Thursday night game at Rams. Then the following week, there's Sunday night game at home against the Pats. And then Christmas Eve night, they play against Pittsburgh. So some fun games. The 2 things I hate about this, though, one, I hate ending with the Chiefs in the last game of the season. Because, I mean, it's such a meaningful, they're banking on this being a meaningful game.
They beat you up twice last year, right?
Yeah. I mean, it sucks to have an end with them anyway, but there's always the chance where this game maybe means nothing for one of these teams. So I don't like ending there. And somebody needs to tell me, a buddy of mine were complaining about this yesterday, why the Raiders continue to get early buys every season. They get a buy in week 6. This is the 3rd time in 4 years they've had a bye in week 6. I don't know why. It's way too early for this long schedule. I don't even know why they have buys that early. I mean, they can
especially with the 17
with the
game
17 game,
schedule,
they could spread this out better.
Yeah.
But I don't know. They always, that just seems like, one of those things the Raiders always seem to get screwed with.
What was it, babyface? 200 computers working on this schedule? I mean, you just want to there's so many restrictions. You don't want to double book on a day like Joe Coy is playing at MetLife Stadium or something, right? How many computers was it? 4,000, you said?
Yeah, 4,000 computers, according to an article from Albert Breer, that generated almost 120,000 full schedules that they narrowed down. So
can you believe they used to do this shit by hand? It's crazy. It was crazy. All right. And you mentioned the Steelers, and that's 50 years almost to the day after the Immaculate Reception, I think. 50 years in one day. That's when it's going to be. Christmas Eve. That's going to be a fun
Crazy.
one. All right, Harry, now we're going to give you time to preview your favorite team schedule. And that's it. Okay. That's all Harry's got. Look, we're already doing it. We're going over the, Brother Bri's like, oh, they have an easy week 7 to 10. And I love it. I could talk about this forever. So let's do, I know it's way too early to pick over-unders, but let's just do one. Based on the release of yesterday's schedule, let's do one. Bri, you like one. I love this. I think it's way too low, and yet it's so stupid to be taking the Jets over.
Well,
but I like this too.
Right, it's 5.5. Just seems so low. The only thing I will say is this screws one of us every year, right? Whenever we're doing the picks, one of us love the Jets every year. Never comes through. But yeah, 5.5 just seems way too low. I like the direction this team's headed in. I like what they did in the offseason. You know, they won 4 games last season. It's not like they won 1 or 2. So you're asking for 6 wins. I think there's a potential where they're better than the Dolphins this season. That I really do. And you have the NFC North on the schedule, which is good. They might be one of the worst divisions in football. You get the extra game against Seattle, which could be good for them. So I don't know. I was envisioning them to be 6-11 or 7-10. So I thought 5.5 is just really low considering all the good things the Jets have done recently.
You got to go 2-4, at least 2-4 in the division, right?
Right.
Which I don't think is asking. I know it's not something they typically do anyway, but that's go 2-4 in the division. Beat the Bears at home. Beat the Lions when you're home. Beat the Jaguars when you're home. And then, like you said, they're at Seattle. Right. They have some winnable games. They're at Pittsburgh. They're at Cleveland. Who knows? I really like that 5.5. Yeah. All right, Harry, what do you like? What's your pick?
I got the champs, the Rams, going over 10.5. Like asking the defending champs to go 11-6 seems pretty easy, actually. 12 last year. They didn't have Cam Akers for 16 games of the season. Robert Woods for half the season. This year, Stafford to Cup is going to be great again. He was the only receiver to have 5 or more receptions in every single game. They picked up in free agency Allen Robinson, who's only had Chicago and Jacksonville quarterbacks to throw to him. Now he's got Stafford. He's going to be a big weapon to that offense. They picked up Bobby Wagner from Seattle. In 10 years, he's a tackling machine. Over 100 tackles in every single season that he's played. And in the NFC West, look, Kyler and GM Steve Keim butting heads about contracts. Don't know who the quarterback's going to be in San Fran. Seattle could easily be the worst team in the NFC, maybe even worse than Detroit, as we just mentioned. I think 5-1 in the division sounds doable. And then you just got to get 6 other wins.
Yeah, I kind of like that. I mean, I'll just say, I think that your biggest point there is that the rest of the division's gotten weaker. And it's so funny because I think the over-unders this time last year, all 4 were had to hit 10 to get there. Oh, at least 10, right? Like I think Seattle was 9.5, or maybe Arizona was 9.5. Everybody else was 10 or more. This year, I think the Rams are the only team to get the 10 or more. My pick, before you jump in, Parlay Kid, since we're saying in the same division, San Francisco under 9.5 is a plus money there, plus 125. They play the AFC West. They play the NFC South. I think their extras are Bears, Dolphins, Texans. That's not terrible. 5 primetime games. They open at Chicago. Could be Lance at Fields. You know, they have the Chargers on a Sunday night. They have the Cardinals in Mexico City. They have New Year's Day at Bri's Raiders. I don't know. I just, if Deebo Samuel is not going to take the responsibility of being that 2-headed monster, taking handoffs, which helped that offense immensely, I think this is an average squad. I get it that Jimmy G is getting healthier every day, but I don't even know if he's the answer. If they go 4-2 in the division and 5-6 outside of it, Saints, Bucks, all good. AFC West, all good. Those are going to be tough games. San Francisco, they could go 9-8 and make the playoffs. I still like it under 9.5. Parlay Kid, Colts under 9.5.
Yeah, why not? 9-win team last year. The only thing that scares me is I don't think this division's very good. I think the Titans have maybe gotten worse. The Texans, but I do think the Texans are getting better, and I think the Jags are getting better. But from where? From what point? I mean, they from a 2-win team to maybe a 6-win team. It's possible. But I also think, Sal, what's the confidence? You know why I'm picking the Colts here, Sal? Why am I don't have to explain this to anybody. Why would I go under with the Colts 9.5? Who's their quarterback? It's Matt Ryan. Right? Like, who in their right mind would go over 9.5 wins for Matt Ryan at this stage of his career? I'm sorry. That's the single factor. They're asking a lot for Jonathan Taylor to duplicate what he did last year. It's tough for running backs to have back-to-back years like that. He's capable of doing it because this line is pretty good. Who's their receiving core? Their receiving core, Pittman Jr. is getting better. Is he a number 1? I'm not really sure. And then behind him, Paris Campbell, Pierce, the rookie that they've drafted. It doesn't scare anybody. Ryan does not have guys to really throw to that he even had in Atlanta. He's not going to be able to get it done. Frank Reich is a good coach. He's not. I think he's shown to me he's not a great coach. He's just not a great coach. He's had his time there. I just don't see Ryan being able to elevate this team to 10 wins. I just don't see it happening.
The most simplistic way to look at it is Matt Ryan a double-digit win quarterback. Probably not. The only thing you're banking against is that division putting up any kind of fight.
That's like I said.
If they go 5-1 in that division, it wouldn't even mean they were a good team, And then you got to go 5-6 the rest of the way. Yeah.
Like you with I'll take the under at plus money, plus 135 right now. I'll roll with that, banking on Matt Ryan.
I like
That's
that.
it.
We like unders. All right, Harry and Bri like overs. Hey, Jerry Jeudy was arrested yesterday. More domestic violence stuff. Broncos wide receiver. I'm not sure that, Russell Wilson, everybody loved that situation Russell Wilson was getting into. I mean, really? All right, receiver wise, if this guy has to go away for a little bit, is that going to be as good as what it was in Seattle? Not sure. May not also be good for CD Lamb, Parlay Kid. I'm looking at that 2020 draft class for wide receivers. Ruggs went, 12th, Bri?
Oh, boy.
Judy went 15th. Lamb was the next on the board, the wide receiver at 17th.
Don't worry, it's just the Alabama receivers. It's
it's an Alabama thing? Oh, great.
It's the third one. I mean,
does this stuff not happen in Tuscaloosa, though, Bri? Or does it get covered up in Tuscaloosa, and then it just happens once they leave Tuscaloosa? I don't know.
I don't know what's going on. I mean, just don't put your hands on women. What the hell? Maybe they should call offensive pass interference more, and then that would teach the guys to not use their hands, and that would extend the women.
Unbelievable.
But really crazy how that works.